Okay, well, there you go, friends. Doc South here. And yeah, another rainy day befell us. And whew, I haven't, I looked, but there's no sense. I could report again that the river's pretty much right up to right up to here as far as although I got to admit, so far the muskie's been very polite, hasn't, at least in our neck of the woods, hasn't gone over its banks. No, not yet. Thinking about it, I think, but not. And even in our case, and actually, I think all my neighbors too, at least here on the street, are in pretty good shape, high up enough that I don't think they'll have any trouble. If anything else, it's the far shore of the Muskie, away from us, that has a more of a plain to it, and I think the water would go out there as opposed to getting after anyone's house here. And again, most houses are up pretty high. It would have to be a catastrophic um, rainfall, and I mean really catastrophic. Okay, like arc, yeah, kind of rain, that kind of deal. But I will say this again. Mostly this will subside, but it's funny, in years past, we've had similar situations where the river goes up, the muskie climbs up a bit. We get our, especially for some reason in the fall, and we have more than our share of water flowing by. Ah, but I just realized. Well, I wondered about it once out loud to someone, and one of my neighbors said, "Well, you know what's happening." As we're standing there looking at the river right up to its banks, and it's been clear. The weather's been clear, not much rain, but the river's up almost to overflowing its banks. What it is, the guy told me, he said, is, this Lake Apacon, a rather big lake, I think one of the biggest lakes in New Jersey. Um, well, they have to lower the level of the lake as winter approaches. And that's why. What would it matter? He says, well, there's a lot of people with boat docks. There's all sorts of stuff built right up to the water. And it's not so much if the water stayed where it is, no big deal if it were summer. But he says it's winter coming up. And naturally Lake Apacon gets, well, north, being in North Jersey with basically, I would think the north wind must howl right down the valley the lake is in. Well, you get ice, and you get a whole lot of ice. I mean, people are out there with their ice boat, their snowmobiles and their ice boats and all that stuff, and skating. Well, evidently that ice, and I knew this from science class. Water is, how, say you make molten steel, okay, and you pour it into a mold. Well, molten steel, once it starts to cool, will shrink. But from what I gather, water is a different thing. And you'll notice this if you care to do it. I imagine there must be some way to do an experiment. But I can tell you, like a friend, this is what happens. Water in a container, contained water, hitting frozen temperatures, slightly below freezing temperatures, will freeze, but as it freezes, it expands. Most liquids going to solid form shrink, not water. Water, for some reason, expands. Hence, it floats to the top, of course. Well, what happens is it's very powerful. If you got a good layer of ice on the lake already and it starts to expand, okay, it starts breaking piers, it starts breaking stuff along the shoreline, and evidently you got trouble. So what they do is they lower the water down a bit, and that way the water has room to expand. That's what I've been told. And I remember many a year has gone by now with Sandy and I here on the shores of the Muskie. And I often, I'll look at the river and it's, my God, the river's darn near flooded. I'll go up to Sandy. I said, did it rain here? I didn't see it. Hear about any rain? She says, no, it didn't rain. What? Oh my gosh. She says, look at that river. And yeah, it's pretty much right, it's like it is now, just about ready to go over the shoreline. Again, they're trying to get that water down a bit so that Lake Apacon and probably Lake Musconetcong and any other lake that might get fed by the Muskie has room to expand. There you go. I had absolutely no idea. Huh? Yeah, I know. Hey, you watch some of these videos of mine, you actually get some learning. Huh? And they say darn near not too many forces stronger than water when it wants to expand, from what I hear. So it can really make a mess of things. Anyway, I just thought I'd say. I suppose you could prove that for yourself by filling a jug. Although why do it? I mean, it's all you're going to do is have a mess to clean up. Come spring, you fill it right up to the top with water, cap it, and that jug will break. I would imagine just about anything you can seal off tight that wouldn't pop its cork will pretty much break. It's hard to be stronger than water that wants to expand by cooling. Yeah. Neat, huh? Anyway, I just thought I'd say. I'll catch you later. Have a good, good fall. We still got plenty of time to enjoy the fall scenery and all that. And, well, if other rivers here in Jersey are not quite up to snuff when fall gets into being dry, you can always come up and check out the Muskie. Plenty of water for everybody. Okay. Anyway, at least generally that's the case. I'll see you later. God bless. Bye now.